Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a best of 3 Zendikar Rising draft. Okay, well, our rare Shatter Skull Charger. It's a good beater. Yeah, not much to say. Could take it. Other notable picks here. I like Acquisitions Expert. Get a little discard effect off of it. Better than Ravenous Rats. Roiling Regrowth for some fixing and ramp. Zoff Consumption, good spell land. And I guess Bug Catcher, cheap beater. We can take the Charger though. I guess it is double red, but I like that you can sort of dash it in for a quick attack or pay a little bit more and get a bigger attack permanently. So certainly fine taking that. All right, follow-up pick. Well, I would say the best card is probably, I'm looking at Umara Wizard, which I guess can still go in a Shatter Skull Charger deck. It's Wizards is primarily red-blue, so I guess I'd be okay with that. Cunning Geyser Mage is good. I like the Shadow Cat. I like the Horn Beetle. I like Binding, Vanquish the Weak, Field Research, Scythe Cat, Colony. A lot of good cards in here. We're not going to take the Blade to follow up the Charger, so I'm actually fine taking the Umara Wizard. Dispel Land, solid card in general. Can definitely win the game. When you cast it as a creature, I feel like it often does get flying and can win the game, so I'm fine taking the Wizard here. Like I said, Wizards is red-blue, and I would be happy to play a Charger in a Wizards deck. I don't think there's any issues with that. All right. Well, pick 3 here. A lot of good cards. Let's see. In blue, we have the Royal Mage, which should be a fine follow-up to the Wizard. In green, we have Ambush and Vastwood Surge. I guess I'd probably take Ambush over Vastwood Surge. In black, we have Deadly Alliance and Feed the Swarm. There's also a Rabid Bite. A lot of good green cards and the black cards. The best removal spell is Deadly Alliance, but then I guess we're starting to drift a little bit. It does feel a bit premature to take the Royal Mage, and taking Electromancer here is kind of underwhelming too. Maybe we just take the best card, which is probably the Deadly Alliance. Feed the Swarm, I feel like always comes back to bite me unless I'm in a deck that has a lot of life gain, but even Deadly Alliance over Colony Ambush is probably fine. Okay, so now in blue, Cascade Seer, Salundi Vision. In black, Blight Priest, Constrictor. Do we just go 5-color to start off? Ever since that last draft, do I just now play 5-color from now on? Why not, right? 5-color party. We'll just do it every draft. I mean, neither of these black cards are worth taking. Vision would be kind of a free card, so I could see the argument for taking that. Finds a Deadly Alliance, too. Nothing in red. Journey is certainly the best card here, though. Deals with everything. I'll take the Journey. I'm going to see what we're getting. What's coming around. Where we want to be. So now in red, Scorch Rider, Sizzling Barrage, Tormenting Voice. I mean, the 2 best cards we have now are probably the Journey and the Deadly Alliance. So I could go Farsight, Adept, or Mind Drain. Mind Drain gives you some card advantage, or at least giving your opponent card disadvantage, which is good. Blocker Predation is a playable spell land, though kind of underwhelming one. Let's see. Mind Drain versus Adept here. I think I'm actually going to go Mind Drain. I don't know if that's right, but I like what you get out of it. Well, this is interesting. There's a Surefooted Infiltrator, which maybe would put us back on like a... Yeah, it could put us on a rogue path, which I might be okay with. Otherwise, there's Kazul's Fury in red, which is a very solid card. Can definitely win the game. Then I guess I would have to be like a red-black aggro path, which might be okay. Or I take the Infiltrator and hope to pick up some rogues. I feel like we haven't seen a ton of rogues along the way. They like Infiltrator more. I guess so. I'll consider it. We'll see if rogues is the direction. Oh, but then we're past Umara Mystic. Pick 7. That would take us back down. I mean, it's probably fine that we took the Infiltrator then, though. Otherwise, Duelist and Skydancer. I mean, the strongest card is Umara Mystic. But then I guess we're likely to be abandoning Mind Drain and Deadly Alliance. Not necessarily. Could end up with some way to splash it. But Umara Mystic's the strongest card. That might be the push I need to maybe move towards red-blue. Neither of these red cards are very exciting. We could take the Negate for sideboard. Moss-Pit Skeleton's the strongest card, but we don't have any green picks. I don't like that. Outrider and Resolute Strike are fine and dandy. Dreadworm is playable, though with the Umara Mystic now, I kind of feel like Wizard's Path probably the wisest for us. We'll see. So we already have a Negate. I don't think we need a second one. I can take a Lagak. It's a playable card. Not terribly exciting, but certainly playable. Multiple Negates seems unlikely. A lot of black cards now, interestingly. But we still probably, just between the Charger and Mystic out of pack 1, may just have enough incentive to try and make a Wizards thing work. Take the Blade just to cut red for that reason. I mean, like I said, I'm going to have to pull the trigger on something at some point. Cascade Seer, total playable card. It's also a wizard. It makes sense here. None of these cards are on color with what we want to do. I guess I'll just cut the black card. Alright, Tormenting Voice, actually a reasonable card for these decks. And Last Pick Ambusher, totally fine there. Alright, Maul the Skyclaves. Well, that's a good reason to perhaps pivot back into white. I could abandon blue. There's Into the Royal, though, if I want to stick to the... This card is just so bomb that I think it almost just warrants a pivot on its own. Just like red-white. This card just wins the game. It really does just straight up win the game. I have to abandon quite a few cards to make this work, but honestly, it's by far the most exciting card we've seen this whole draft. So, considering I don't really have anything crazy going on anyway, I'm just going to take them all. You do sort of have to pivot pretty hard, though. Even though on the top end it's not difficult to splash with just the one white. The re-equip is double white, so you do have to be pretty white in order to make that Maul of the Skyclaves work. Well, Channeler is actually a fine follow-up here. It's a wizard in case I still have to do the wizard's deck, but it's also fine for red-white. It's not ideal for red-white, but certainly fine for that deck too. It's just a good red card in general. And if I'm playing Maul of the Skyclaves, I'm likely going to end up red-white. It's just a good beatdown card, so we'll take it. Plenty of other good picks in here, though. The Bubble Snare, the Plunder, the Squid's playable, the Trap for Wizards, the Deadly Alliance removal, the Electromancer Wizard. A lot of good cards. I'm going to take the rare. Okay. So in white, there's Adept, but it's probably safer to just continue taking red cards. And I'm never, like, super excited by Night Runner. It's a fine card. I'd probably just take the Warrior, which I'm also not super excited by, but totally playable here. It's just an extra random beater in the late game, or a land early. Kitesail to get more evasion, but Kitesail's kind of like the weaker, younger brother of Maul of the Skyclaves. So maybe we just stick to red for now, because we are more than likely red. Fearless Fledgling, well, alright. There's also a Royal Eruption in here, but I actually think Fearless Fledgling's stronger, and like I said, I actually want to play Maul of the Skyclaves if possible. It's the strongest thing we have. So we'll officially move into this deck. Unfortunate to pass a Royal Eruption, but happy to get a Fearless Fledgling. A card is fantastic. So we can take Inordinate Rage. Not a particularly exciting card, but certainly fine for an aggro deck. And like I said, we already have Maul the Skyclave, so we probably don't need the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. Omnath, huh? Well, that's cool. Otherwise, Sneaking Guide can make an Ambusher unblockable. Or we take another Inordinate Rage. I'm just going to take 40 gems because Omnath is worth a ton. Maybe I double splash for it. Akoum Warrior. Yeah, we'll take another one over the Hellion. It's fine. So, Scorch Rider, playable Warrior. Is also a Mesa Lynx. But we could end up with some Warrior synergies, and sometimes it randomly has haste. Honestly, it's not a amazing card, but playable. And we're in the colors to maybe find some Warrior synergies. So I'm going to take Disenchant over Mesa Lynx. Mesa Lynx is a fine card for sideboard in best of 3. There's just some matches where having a 2/3 defensively for 2 mana is good. But, all right, plenty of blue cards now. Nothing else we need. I guess we just take the Plunder. I mean, I could take the weakest card, but yeah, I guess so. Like, Chilling Trap's probably the weakest card here. We're not in those other colors. Take the Hellhound just to cut red. I don't want to play it. It is an aggro card, but we're going to need quite a few playables out of this last pack. Well, Scorch Rider helps. We're more than likely 18 lands because we already have... Actually, do we just have the 2? I guess we just have 2 spell lands. For some reason, I thought we had more than that. Last pick in Ordinary Rage. Well, that's good. Relic Robber, in a vacuum, not an amazing card. In a deck that's got a Maul of the Skyclaves and a Cliffhaven Kite Sail, I like it a lot more. It's also Spikefield Hazard, which is good, but I'll take the Relic Robber. You know, it's a cool rare. This does seem like the deck where Relic Robber can actually do something, so I'll take it. It's a cool card. Kiri, Fearless Fledgling. Well, I'd say in the deck that's got a Maul of the Skyclaves, we probably want a Kiri. That's awesome. So we'll take that. Sejiri Shelter would be obviously a welcome pickup too, but we'll take a Kiri. Cool card. Okay. Well, Pathway is some fixing, but we actually need playables. How many things do I have that synergize with Rockslide Sorcerer? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. Not really that much, to be honest. I wouldn't mind making our mana a little bit better, but like I said, we actually need some playables here. We're short on creatures, too. I probably need to take the Sorcerer. I don't think I've ever been this unhappy about taking a Sorcerer before. The card is fantastic. We just really do not have a deck that can exploit it. Just take another one and hope. Maybe wheel the Fissure Wizards. It's totally possible. I mean, it's a great card. GOP's a fantastic beater. I'm going to take that. Like I said, with all these 4-drops, we're more than likely an 18-land deck anyway. Maybe not, but I kind of feel like we probably are. Just 3 Rockslide Sorcerers. Well, all right. If you insist. We can take the Ambusher. We can take the Treachery. We have 15 creatures. Probably take the Treachery then. I mean, you can never really have enough cheap creatures either. But I like the fact that Treachery additionally gives us some Rockslide Sorcerer synergy. I'm going to take it. Molten Blast. That might actually make the deck. I could see that happening. Spikefield Hazard. That's definitely making the deck. So basically 4 white cards. Borderline mono red. I'm still okay with that considering we're playing Maul the Skyclaves with a Kiri. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we could have made a really nasty Wizards deck, but it's pretty hard to anticipate getting 3 Rockslide Sorcerers when you get them all in pack 3. That's ridiculous. All right, well, we already have 3 pieces of equipment, so I'll take the second Ambusher at this point. Just get another 2-drop. Where's equipment? Well, got the Fissure Wizard. That's a welcome pickup with triple Rockslide Sorcerer. Yep, second one too. They're getting in there. They are definitely getting in there. I think the Tormenting Voices might get cut. Actually, the Lagax are probably getting cut. We've got higher prioritized 4 drops here. Let's take these out for now. We've got 3 spell lands only. Okay, not a huge deal. So 13 lands. Nope, here's one. Nice. So 14 lands. And we probably want to run 18. I think that's actually fine. And we can cut, what, 4 creatures? Yeah. So Lagax, easy cut. Then we're already down to... We don't have any actual warrior synergies, do we? I wonder if that means I should just play the Lagax over the Scorch Riders. It's a fine argument for that. We're not exactly a beatdown deck. We have 0 actual warrior synergies. So the only thing it makes our Journey to Oblivion cheaper to play the Scorch Riders, but I think I'd rather have a 3/4 than a 4/3 almost every time, to be honest. They just block better, and then they just convert your lands into damage. I kind of like that. Cards that interact with Rockslide Sorcerer. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess you count the other ones 11. Yeah, we have plenty. It says 17 creatures, but 2 of them are these Akum Warriors, so I have to keep that in mind too. But I only need 2 more cuts. I'm tempted to cut the Blade. Not that it's a bad card, and it's actually good with Akiri, but I'd rather just have the evasion. I'd rather either have something that gives evasion or interacts with Rockslide Sorcerer. So I think between Maul and Cliffhaven Kitesail, I'm good. It could cut a creature too. And Tormenting Voice, though an unexciting card in a vacuum, helping to find all the powerful stuff we have in here is actually quite good. Like finding Maul, finding Akiri with Maul, finding Rockslide Sorcerers to just double, triple up, deal 1 billion damage, shock and lightning bolt things when we play it. It's just good. Finding more lands. Getting rid of excess lands. I'm fine cutting an Ambusher. I think it's a fine card. There's nothing exceptional about it here other than late game attacking for a bunch. We're not really hyper aggro. We have the means to be hyper aggro, but we also have the means to just win in the mid to late game off Rockslide Sorcerers and Lagax and stuff like that. This is a cool deck. Almost no white, which really isn't a big deal. Funny thing is we could easily convert into a Wizards deck, but I'd still rather just play Maul. So we need white early, which means we are going to have to play a few white spells here. Or white lands, rather. Probably, how much double red do we have? I mean, 8 should be fine. We'll do 8, 10. I think that's totally reasonable. All right, cool deck. It is 18 lands, like I said, but we've got some payoffs for the excess lands, the Geopedes, the Lagax. We've got 4 spell lands. We have Tormenting Voice, we have Magmatic Channeler, Fissure Wizards. Like, we have the means to mitigate Flood, so I think it's totally reasonable to play 18 here. All right, we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. All right, we'll play first. That is a keep. I may discard an Inordinate Rage. It does synergize with Rockslide Sorcerer, but yeah, you know what? We'll hold up. We'll hold up for now. I think I will discard an Inordinate Rage. Fine card, but based on what I've got in this hand, I'd probably rather play... I guess I can kill that, too. I think I will, just for Rabid Bite purposes. Alright, I'll still discard an Inordinate Rage. Digging for land. Or... yeah, if we get land now... Pretty good. Got the land, so I think we just go for beats. You just get in for 4 on turn 3. Alright, can play the Rock Slide Sorcerer now. Oops. First strike always gives you that wonky extra step you have to go through. Alright, so let's see here. I suppose it's actually fine to leave that on top. It triggers our sorcerer and we can ditch this plains with it, so sure. Alright. So stole a game with Maul of the Skyclaves, as Maul of the Skyclaves is wont to do. Sideboard options, we actually do have some. Disenchant. Is that it? I guess we could bring in Ambusher for if we need more blockers. I'm just talking about theoretically, not for this match in particular. I'm looking at actual sideboard options we have. I don't know why I would want a Scorch Rider over a Lagak. I think, like I said, most of the time, our deck's in a little bit of a weird place. It has some aggro cards like Robber and Geopede, and Maul of the Skyclaves is good anywhere, though. It's not just aggro. Fearless Fledgling, actually that's good anywhere too. It doesn't matter what kind of deck you're playing. Obviously better for aggro. We've got cards that are better for aggro, cards that are maybe a little bit better for the long game, but even Lagak's kind of in a weird place where I think it's perfectly acceptable for an aggro deck too. I guess we're mostly aggro. We're mostly aggro with a little bit of late game plan in there. I think a Lagak's just better than a Scorch Rider. I think you could debate that. I think if we had Warrior synergies, Rider would be better. But for this deck, I'd rather just convert lands into damage to my opponent and have 4 toughness on the top end. So, all right. That being said, didn't see anything for Disenchant. I don't know if they're playing some sort of maybe black-green counters. It showed us all counter-oriented cards, so that would make sense. We don't really have much tools particularly suited to fight that anyway, so let's just run it back. Let's see, 6 lands and a Rock Slide Sorcerer, and our opponent wants us to play first, which is kind of unusual too. It's slow, but I think we'll keep. We have a lot of ways. I think the importance of why I'm keeping this really lies into the specifics of our deck. We have 2 Tormenting Voices, we have 2 Fissure Wizards, we have, I feel like there's even one more loot card that's eluding me right now. Magmatic Channeler. So yeah, we have a lot of tools here to help dig, help mitigate flood. All right. So Rock Slide Sorcerer into Song Mad Treachery, maybe? I don't know. I'm still a little bit confused why my opponent wanted me to go first. That's pretty unusual. I don't see that too often in this format or very many. Snarecaster, well, not super intimidated by that. Now we can go Sorcerer into Charger into Hardcast to Coom Warrior. That's pretty cool. And I guess the nice thing about Rock Slide Sorcerer in a matchup like this is that Nahiri's Binding really doesn't do anything except make it so I can't attack with my 3/3. But other than that, I get to just still ping away. It's just like practice tactics, basically, that sort of deals with it. So I think we're just going to jam with the Charger here. And I think I'm just going to attack for 5. I could attack with both, but if they have the Might of Marasa here, I'd rather they kill my Charger than my Sorcerer. I don't know if that's right or wrong necessarily, but another thing is they could block it with Snarecaster and Tactics my Sorcerer and still get it. So I could have attacked with Sorcerer there, but Sorcerer is still kind of valuable to me. So something we can do here. Yeah, this is actually a spot where I think it's worth it to do the Treachery, because we get to ping the Snarecaster and swing for 12, and they really do not have a great block. So it's a good opportunity, I think, to cast this. Ping that. They're also tapped out, which helps. If they don't want to block, I'm happy for them to take 12 damage as well. Yeah. So now they're in a position where they basically are going to die to quite a few things. I mean, they get pinged from this. I probably would have killed the Sorcerer. Maybe they have 2 Rabid Bites and it doesn't matter. Alright, so now we can just go Wizard, ditch the Mountain. I'm just trying to kill them as quickly as possible, which is why I'm not making the best use of mana here. And then just Sorcerer number 2. Well. Alright, so we just go Channeler and it's over. Alright, we'll see you for round 2. Alright, we're in round 2. We'll play first. Definitely a keep. Fissure Wizard, we can probably ditch, I guess, a Tormenting Voice with it if I want. I also don't have to ditch anything if I want, but I feel like Fissure Wizard and Tormenting Voice essentially do the same thing, which makes me just want to get the body out there. Ooh, Relic Robber, that's a good one. But I'll ditch the Tormenting Voice here, it's fine. Ooh, no 2-drop, that's good news for us. Get to do this sweet, sweet robber. Ooh, main deck, the old pressure point, huh? So we may have to play the Akum Warrior, but then I get to jam in a Kiri, which is pretty nice. Or I just kill their Scythe Cat and be pretty happy about that. So I can play the Akum Warrior, but we got the 4th land, so I don't think I have to. Oh. They can actually attack with they can attack with that construct. Tormenting Voice, yeah. So I think they're gonna block the Relic Robber. I don't think they have a ton of choice there, to be honest. They can't afford to just get constructs. Maybe they can. I don't think they can, though. So we'll play the Sorcerer now. And I think we will actually do the Akum Warrior. So this is interesting. If we draw a land, we can ditch it to Tormenting Voice and ping with Sorcerer, which is good. If we don't draw land, we get to just do Voyager anyway. So no problems there. I like they are just beating us down with our own little construct token there. So now I think we do the same thing as before. We actually just play the Fissure Wizard. I ping them. I ditch the Tormenting Voice. Spikefield Hazard's pretty sweet. We'll just bash. And play an Akiri and pass. Well, this looks like a good Spikefield Hazard matchup, that is for sure. Fearless Fledgling, Territorial Scythe Cat. Didn't we see some other X1 too, or am I misremembering? Yeah, the other X1 was the construct token that we gave them. Let's see. So they were also missing land drops to note. Important to note, especially for a landfall deck. So we see Disenchant. No targets. And that's probably about it as far as actual credible, reasonable sideboard options we have. So I think we'll run it back. All right, what do we got here? We're on the draw. We only have the one land. As much as I'd like to keep this, we really needed one of our tap lands to make me feel more comfortable enough to keep this, but I don't think it's worth keep. I think our deck is good enough where we should probably just mulligan. This one's a keep and a good hand, and we'll just ditch a plains and probably be fine. And I can Tormenting Voice away a Rage because I kind of want to keep this Spikefield Hazard, especially if they just drop a Fledgling here or something. Nectar Pot I'm a little bit less concerned about, although it can block the... oh yeah, how about a Fledgling of our own? Although it can block the Relic Robber. Maybe if it attacks us. Maybe they'll get greedy, attack us with that Nectar Pot, and then we'll just get in with our Relic Robber. I mean, it's definitely an attack there, but... and we miss the land drop. So... I'm probably going to hazard the Scythe Cat now. Part of me really wants to Tormenting Voice away something. And then be able to hit a red to hit the Scythe Cat. But I think that's probably just greedy enough to skip. We're going to miss a land drop here. But... we have Tormenting Voice for next turn. Possibly rip a land and go Relic Robber if they attack us again. Depending on... oh, they actually stayed back. Wise. Very wise. Well, now we can get in with the Fledgling here. And I guess we're doing the classic post-combat Relic Robber. Not the most exciting play. But they wisely played around Relic Robber there. It's the advantage of best of 3. Let's see if they have a land and like a Colony Ambush or a Rabid Bite. Or they just sit back and chill. So I kind of want to hit my land drop here. But Yeah, I do. So we probably ditch the... I think we ditched the Lagac. Well, asking you receive, but not exactly the way you want it. Thankfully, we still can get in with the fledgling here, but the problem is we can't play the Inordinate Rage. I wanted to attack with my Relic Robber there, too. Another red, untapped red land would be phenomenal, because then we can actually play this plus Inordinate Rage, our Robber, randomly, too, which is nice. Prowling Felidar, alright. Let's see if they're ready to attack yet. I probably would be. Yeah, I think that's correct. I agree with that. Did not get the land, but if I wasn't going to get a land, I'm happy to get another 2-drop that I can play, so we'll attack here. If they have Might of Marasa, they get us pretty good. They do indeed. So, what does 6th land get us? I don't think it gets us much, so we'll bottom that. I mean, I guess it gives us a fledgling attack. Oh, that's true, actually. Maybe I should have considered that. I'd probably take 7 here. I mean, I could lose my ambusher. I don't know if that's the greatest. Got the land anyway, so I guess that's good. And I suppose we can just play a charger. Attacking with both. So probably just jump here. And I mean, the fact that they're attacking in makes me think they have another Might of Marasa. Problem is that Felidar, their last card is likely Might of Marasa, huh? Alright. I mean, I could just offer the trade since my charger can't get in there anyway, but... Or, how about I just... I know this is kind of crazy, but how about I just steal this and then kill them with it? Alright, we'll see you for the finals. Round 3, we'll play first. And yeah, it's a keep. Pretty much got everything we need. I guess we need a second red for this charger. But everything else is looking pretty good. Wonder what I discard to this Fissure Wizard. Couldn't be the land. Maybe it's the charger? That seems crazy. Couldn't be the journey, though, could it? I guess it's a Shatterskull charger. Not my favorite card to discard, but there you have it. Certainly important to make sure we get that 4th land for this Rock Slide Sorcerer. Ooh, 2 can play at this red-white Fissure Wizard dot deck, huh? Alright, well, let's play the Ambusher. Next turn, may have to play the Inordinate Rage. Guess we have Journey for scary stuff. We have like, so, same exact deck as our opponent? Alright. Good to know, good to know. Let's do Rockslide Sorcerer here. Especially if we can go multiples with it, that's just dirty. Alright. We can exile the Akiri, so that's good. Alright. Well, I could play another Rockslide Sorcerer now and kill the Fissure Wizard, but I think we Journey Akiri now before they've drawn too many cards. Certainly not the best use of mana, but what can you do? Alright. Well, we got the 5th land, so I don't actually think the 5th land helps too much right now, but that's okay. Go Rockslide Sorcerer, kill that little fella. Play the land. It does mean we'll have to likely discard whatever we draw to Tormenting Voice, but I kind of want some more lands. May have to take 4 from this Expedition Champion too. Not my favorite. Well, I think that's an unacceptable amount of damage. So instead, we can double block the Charger, and we lose 1 Rockslide Sorcerer. Might have to be okay with that. I don't want to take 11 here. Could have also blocked... either way, I'm losing a Sorcerer. That's true. Alright, so we can do Fissure Wizard, ditching the Tormenting Voice instead. I think I like that more, because we still trigger the Fissure Wizard. Although we can leave up Inordinate Rage to kill the champion. Huh. Well, let's play the Wizard. Ping them. Ditch the Voice. Guess we play the land. And pass. Oh. Attack with the Sorcerer. Then we leave up Inordinate Rage with Ambusher to kill the champion. Bottom of the land. Geopeed. So we can attack with Ambusher. Pump. And play the Geopeed. Molten Blast, kind of a perfect draw there. Kind of a perfect draw. Question is, because I can ping with the Sorcerer. I'm trying to think if I just... The Healer has lifelink too. This is a little bit more tricky than I was hoping for. But I feel like I need a big attack here, so I think I actually do have to kill the Blade Master. And I guess we hit them. And then I have to choose what I'm attacking with here, huh? I suppose it's probably everything but the Ambusher. And they are blocking, which is probably fine. If I'd attacked with the Ambusher, they could have took it all. And I think killed us on the backswing at that point. So I think this is probably fine. Still... Oh, I guess we can't get them with Songmad Treachery. It's in our graveyard currently. So, close game. Ended up losing to some flyers. Definitely seems like a game that's within our grasp. We're basically a mirror match, too, which is really odd that we're borderline mirror match. Akiri. It's not really odd. It's totally based on their algorithm. I think their algorithm stinks for Arena. It's basically just like matched on power level, aka if you have the same cards in your deck, you're pretty much matched. Which is a horrible matching system, because we're playing against a deck that just randomly has Shatter Skull Charger, Akiri, and Fissure Wizard. Maybe that's the only big similarities, but those are pretty significant similarities when you're running the same rares in your deck. So Disenchant could deal with Relic Axe, but I'm not really digging it for one card. I mean, I'm sure they have more equipment in there, but... I'm not loving it. Especially since we already have Molten Blast. Yeah, that's true. Not worried about it. We got the Molten Blast. Alright. Let's run it back. Alright, we'll play first. Oh, that's a keep. Guess we do the Fissure Wizard with this. I guess it could go either way. Maybe Ambusher's actually smarter, now that I think about it. Because Ambusher, though less on the front end, harder to kill with removal. Which is pretty important here. Plus, Fissure Wizard triggers off Sorcerer, so it kind of works perfect. So we're doing 3 instead of 4, which is significant. But like I said, the Sorcerer can trigger get triggered off the Fissure Wizard. We'll see. I can pump the Ambusher at some point. Molten Blast is pretty cool. Let's do the Maul for now. And we'll let the beats begin, yeah. Maybe should have played the red, because they're more of a red-heavy deck, but I don't know if it matters that much. We'll see. Looks like 2 can play at this flying game, huh? Alright. In for 3. Play the Rock Slide Sorcerer. They're debating blocking plus practice tactics right now. That's what it tells me. Guess they could also be debating Resolute Strike. We saw that. It's based on what we've seen, it's more likely Resolute Strike than practice tactics. It's just weird because they have 2 classes, so it could be both too. I mean, it's a common card either way, but I'm going to go ahead and assume we're dealing with Resolute Strike. We're going to play the Treachery as a land. I can also Tormenting Voice, discarding it, ping off the Sneaking Guide, maybe draw land and Molten Blast the Healer. Or I can Fissure Wizard. Yeah, I like that too, actually. Well, yeah, it probably makes more sense. This is all before attacks too. I think we want to do it that way. Let's do Fissure Wizard. And we'll ping... guess the Sneaking Guide in case I draw land, because I think I will ditch the Tormenting Voice. Got a Fearless Fledgling, that's pretty good. So we'll do Fledgling, Treachery, and get in for... although we could keep this back, because they can attack with the Squad Commander too. But I feel like racing is kind of fine here. They can't really get in with their 1/1s too effectively. He says as they go Canyon Jerboa land. I think they have Resolute Strike too, sadly. Because it paused, so 7... and I don't really want to lose my Rock Slide Sorcerer. This we can block. We probably just block here. Or they don't, and I'm crazy. Because it didn't even pause there, so I'm pretty sure that that's a little weird. Can I kill them? So I can Molten Blast the Healer or the Jerboa. Or I can blow up the Cliffhaven Kite Sail. We're definitely playing land. I probably have to blow up the Jerboa. Is there any way I guarantee I don't die next turn? Molten Blast the Jerboa. I think we just get in here. And yeah, I guess we blow this up and ping one of these off. Could have killed the Squad Commander too, but I suppose the Jerboa makes slightly more sense. Not giving me much choice. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Ended up going 2-1. We'll see you for the next one.